Hello everybody and welcome to The Detective and the Doctor, Episode 9, covering Rizzoli Isles, Season 4, Episode 9, No One Mourns the Wicked. This episode, as well as the rest of the season, are going to be dedicated to Lee Thompson Young.
This week's episode was about Jane and Mara were going to be speakers at, say it's a convention of some sort. A symposium. And they were going to be speakers because this woman wrote a book about other serial killers, and since Jane was so connected to Hoyt, and Hoyt was in the book, she wanted Mara and Jane to speak, in case anyone couldn't guess it, while they were at the symposium giving their speech. There was an actual murder.
They find some dead bodies on the stage where they stage a murder to make it look like what it did when they found the bodies.
It was replicating a murder that Hoyt had caused, that Jane and Mara had solved.
Yes. And Jane's like, wait a minute, these bodies look super real.
I was like, super fake. These fake bodies look super fake. It's been a really long day.
Jane having her nightmares.
And Jane had asked Mara if she had PTSD, which it's obvious that you do.
A lot of this didn't matter except for little bits and pieces.
There wasn't really, like, a sub-story this week. The sub-story was related to Hoyt, and it would have been, like, Jane trying to
with her PTSD.
Figure out if she had PTSD or not, which obvious.
We come to find out that the woman, Dr. Nolan, was a victim of her father, who was molesting her and beating her when she was 14 years old. When she was 14, she had a child by him, who then ended up being her, like, helper person that you see on the side. And she goes after Corsac because he invites her to his house. Because puppies!
It's not like she went after Corsac.
No, but I'm saying he was there. Like, if he didn't take her...
She went after Corsac, though, because she would have done it regardless, but
right.
The reason she went after Corsac is because he stopped Hoyt from completing what he wanted to do.
Corsac's strung up, and they are about to kill him, and then in through the door burst...
badass thing I've ever seen. Jane. She seriously, like, flew open the door at the same time as shooting this woman. It was the most badass thing I've seen. I actually said that when it happened.
She did. And the episode ends with them on Corsac's porch, cuddling puppies.
And drinking beer. Which sounds perfect to me.
Sounds like a perfect time. Exactly.
But I like how Jane and Corsac have been partners all this time. She's never been to his house.
Okay, what do we like?
I like that they brought Hoyt back to some degree.
Yeah.
Because that's always been, like, an interesting aspect of Jane's life.
That was pretty neat that they did bring him back. And how they were doing the flashbacks with the old clips. And it was funny because you could see how different everybody looked.
I mean, Angie hasn't aged that much, but she has aged some since season 1.
Right. But it was really funny. And Corsac, too.
That was from the very first episode, too.
Right. Jane's bursting through that door was pretty neat.
I loved that part.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah.
That made the entire episode.
Yeah. Another thing I liked was puppies. Because puppies.
She's actually a 5-year-old girl.
But puppies. We not like.
I started to say something, but I can't freaking remember it now.
I didn't like who they made the killer.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Why? Just a question. Would you make the most obvious person the killer? It's not even like, I mean, she's done that in the past, but not to this degree. Like,
no.
Why would you make the woman who's writing about serial killers the serial killer?
Not necessarily.
It wasn't even like the only kind of plot twist was that her son was helping her.
Was that, yeah, the one guy was her son. That was kind of it. And that she was, in fact, the girl from 14 years ago.
Brother. I want to know, it wasn't from 14 years ago. She was 14 when...
Well, that's what I meant.
But, yeah. But how old is she supposed to be and how long ago it was? Because the picture of her entire family that they were showing looked pretty recent, so...
And she did not look pretty recent.
And her son was like 25.
25, maybe early 30s.
So let's add 14 to 25.
Actually, they did say he was 25, didn't they?
Yeah. And she was 14 when
39?
she had... No. Yeah.
Yeah, 39. You didn't do the math that quick. And those pictures were not...
the woman from the nanny.
I'm pretty sure that was Cece.
It was not Cece.
Sister.
It was not.
That they didn't know about.
It was not.
it was such a drawback. And the other parts of the episode were so good. And it was nice seeing Angela, obviously, as it always is.
And Mara actually... No, Mara always cares, but she was openly...
Yeah, genuinely concerned for Jane.
Yeah.
As was everybody else in that room.
Freaking slumber party with your mom and your brother. I would have peaced out.
So, you would have been like, woo!
Like, you guys have fun, I'm gonna go.
Like, Mom, thank you for the chocolates.
Bye.
Have a good day. Seeing everybody come together.
Working together. It was actually a really good episode considering...
Besides who the killer was. Yeah.
Yes.
Predictions.
I don't have any predictions. This show I never really have any predictions for because it's always different things.
Yeah, and right now these are filler
I said,
episodes.
The Patty Doyle thing, it's not even filler episodes though because they already wrapped up the Patty Doyle thing.
Well, we're supposed to get back about Hope and Kaylin, right?
Yeah,
I said her name right. Did you notice I said her name right?
I'm very proud of you. But that's about it.
Yeah. And
it's not really a storyline.
Not really.
They're just there because they're Mara's family members.
I hope they go into her PTSD a little more. I don't think they will, but I hope they kind of do.
Apparently Casey's coming back.
I like Casey. Yeah. I don't like what he does to her, but I like him.
He uses her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I love you, but I'm gonna go to Afghanistan now.
I got stuff and things.
I'm gonna go to Afghanistan.
Ratings. How about 2 ratings? How about one for storyline and one for sub-storyline?
For creativity, I give it a freaking 6.
That killer. You could have went so many different ways with that.
I wanted it to be Joe Friday so bad.
Right.
Kidding.
I wanted it to be Angela Rizzoli. Oh my god, plot twist.
Okay. For creativity, I give it a 6.
Yeah.
For storyline, I give it a...
Well, that would be storyline.
I know, but
creativity and the killer. How about that? Creativity and who the killer was.
Just as a whole, I give it a 7.
Yeah. I can feel that. Got a 7. I liked everybody
working together. They came together. Do not start singing the song.
Come together. Ow! The killer just really was the biggest drawback of the episode.
I would have rather Hoyt had somehow risen from the dead.
Or like a mysterious son that nobody knew he had.
Exactly.
Just
anything.
Right?
Yes! Can we rate this?
And it could have been drawn out. It could have been so many things, and it wasn't. It just wasn't.
It could have been like a son. It could have been
a daughter,
a family member,
a brother,
sister, mother, father,
cousins, friends, uncle.
It could have been somebody he was with in prison because he's done that before.
It could have been so many people, and they could have drawn this out.
Been the Pope himself.
It might have been. We don't know. But you know what? Then I think people would have been like, "You've already done this," so I can see why they didn't do that. But still, it could have gone a lot of different ways instead of the most obvious way possible.
Yeah, I hate it when it's the most obvious.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind it when sometimes you're just like, "Oh, it's that person." This idiot the entire time was like, "Oh, it's that person. It's that person." I was finally like, "Shut the up."
At first, I said it was her, though. Did I not?
Yeah, but I had said
because
that it was
she
like, not the most obvious.
Yeah, because when they were at that thing and they found the dead bodies. But when they found the dead body, she goes, "Oh my, that must have happened while I was at dinner with you guys."
Yeah, really? That's what made a
that
flag go on?
Yes, because why would you just randomly say that? Thank you for joining us for The Detective and the Doctor. Join us next week for episode
10.
Season
4, called Built for Speed.